Okay, now we've got stuff together. The big picture is finally emerging. And I'm realizing, there's just some things that aren't worth trying to figure out. Like how to finish off that tree trunk and make it go all the way to the sky. So this is now where I make the decision of where to crop my final composite. And I have well more than 5 sources in forming this composite. And I can decide to make it like this, because I want those rocks there and the pool there. But I think it'd probably even be better if I cropped it more like this. Get a little bit longer. I'll fix little things. Extend that tree line out. And this gives me I need to show a little bit of the ground though. That's tough. All right, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to crop it with a little bit more space than I think I need. But I want the foreground here. And this is important to do now because I want to know what the big areas are I need to fix. And I just need something right here, right? I need a foreground element that welcomes the eye in. And I need to fix the sky right there, but we know how to do that. We just use clone stamp. Nice and big and soft. Target it, paint it in, make sure I'm on the right layer, which I'm not. There we go. Target it, paint it in. Carry it all the way to the edge. So cropping is a really helpful tool, making all of this work. But I can't clone stamp something new right here. So that's where we now might have to do more selected Google searches. And I think I want like an Easter Island head or something, that says indigenous culture. Very first Indiana Jones movie-ish. Look up indigenous rock sculpture. Strange what you get in Google sometimes. Larger than, I definitely need high resolution here because this is going to be a foreground element. And I'm looking for kind of the right angle, the right lighting, the right setting. And I might even need to change my search terms a little bit. It doesn't even need to look like a sculpture. I just thought this would be an interesting way. This isn't bad. So I right click, open them in a new tab. This is one of those kind of organic elements that will be a buffer between elements that aren't working as well. This is very nice. Ooh, that's cool. Always nice if it has some, here's the Easter Island one, always nice if it has some organic elements around it, so it's not just floating in space. So you can blend it into your existing environment. All this practice you're getting with image searches is really going to help us when it comes time to do our next assignment, which will be creatures. Move that layer up. Let's do a really quick cutout of it. See if there's something useful there to play with. Adjust its levels, limit its highlights, even limit its shadows just a tiny bit, because it's pretty dark for a foreground element. And then let's see, what do I need? I need it about there. Can that work? Yeah, it can. That's option 1. And I would, let's see. I would erase all this stuff away. I'd play with dodging to brighten the tops. Bring that detail out. And I'd play with burning on the other side. Lighting is a little difficult on it, especially down here. So let me see. Really cut into it with erasing. Can it work? Yeah. So that's one option. Let's see another. Extra little elements. So it's no problem getting five different sources, because often you need ones like this. This has rock paintings on it. And the soot. Let's see. Rough selection. The scale isn't quite right for a big foreground element. It can mask some combination of the two. So we're basically patching the holes. There was an artist named, I think, John Matta in the 70s who would find puzzles that were all very different but cut from the same template, because then he could just randomly arrange them. It might be like a religious scene with a Donald Duck puzzle, and he could just build the puzzles from the pieces of different sets, and it all fits together perfectly, but it's his own artistic creation. So what if you have a puzzle that's missing a piece, as I did? Well, then you make a new piece for it. Especially color balance can help sell these things. A little bit more blues in those shadows. Same thing with this layer. I like keeping it red more. Let's see. Even though the background's more green. Let's push it a tiny bit. There we go. And now I just want to burn this side of the rock. Knock it down a little bit. And burn this layer a little bit. Okay. And maybe even burn this background a little bit, where the ground is. All right, now you want to check your edges, because that's where things start to fall apart. And it's a nice clean edge there when I zoom in. There's little issues. With covering that up, let's see. Just need to work with it a little bit more. Maybe at a lower opacity now. Getting that gradation in the sky. There we go. Brighten it all up a little. There you go. All right. So the bottom edge, though, it looks like I need to bring that up a little. So this is what you can do as a trick. You have your rulers. You use the move tool. You just click on the ruler and bring down a guideline. And that's how you decide where you crop. You can do that on all four sides. I might bring my sky down a little bit. I don't need that much sky. And I'll get my landscape. I still have all my layers, but this will save a lot of memory because it will crop everything outside of that from my layers. But you can still see how many layers it really requires to all come together. And I can erase the ones at this point I don't need before I save it. As a finished PSD file. Now, other things I want to really look. I was a little hasty in erasing that plant, so that plant looks a little rough. So I'm going to erase that with a little bit more care. You're looking for the weakest link here to try to get, even though we're just beginning and just learning, to try to get a good sense of finish on your edges. Make it as believable as you can. And then, of course, you can always play, like I had the roots there, you can always play with the big adjustments on these different layers. Help things sink in together. Going to limit the highlights on that layer a little bit. Color's right though, and then this layer needs a lot of help. But I don't need nearly as much of it. This just helps give a different texture in the foreground. Kind of wrap around here. Come on, keep up. Okay, and just erase enough away so it suggests the foreground. It suggests it's the same body of water. I have some of the roots showing underneath. You know, let that foreground element really be strong. And then play with its levels. Always starting with